So I had a military person come and tell me, Mr. Hunter, this is all wrong. Tanks cost a whole lot more than that. And of course, she was right, but that's okay. They said you can play the game still because the concept is the thing. And those numbers do change every few years. We try to get them right, and then we change them again a few years after that. We also have, of course, the soldiers. Each one stands for 1,000 troops. Take an estimate. How many thousand troops do you think are in this country anyway, from this shore over to here? What do you think?
50.
Ms. Nardi White, 50,000? Could be. Very close to the proper number, I think, the actual number. Yes, sir.
Maybe 70,000.
Could be that, yeah. But you're starting to get it, yes.
I was thinking like 55,000.
Could be. These are really precise estimates. Wow. Well, we'll do an inventory. You guys know what an inventory is? That's when you take account of everything your country has. So the cabinet here is going to actually count everything they have on the board. So they'll have an exact number for us very soon.
Again, back to this country. I might not need this, but just in case.
Okay.
This, if it goes down, it'll be out again for...
Well, however long the weather goddess or the random card or the conditions that cause it to go down last. Usually 1 game day, 2 game days, maybe 3 game days if it's really severe. A game day, of course, is a turn all the way around the board. Everybody's taking a turn. This country over here is a desert country. See, it's got a sandy color. That's because it's a desert. And can you imagine what these black, round objects are in a desert country with oil rigs in it? Yes, ma'am.
Coal?
No, not quite. It's a good guess, too. The black, you would think they were.
Oil.
Oil. They are barrels of oil. Each one is a million barrels of oil. You can estimate maybe how many million barrels of oil they have. That's all right. That's okay. We won't go there. There's a lot of oil. These are oil refineries, buildings, or actually industries that process the oil so it can be sold and used for fuel and so forth. There are trucks. The oil trucks are worth so much money, and they ship it around the world wherever you want to go. And you've got oil rigs. There are even offshore oil rigs. Here's one here, one over here in this bay, offshore. And all the boats, all the ships that belong to this country get low. They don't have any fishing ships at all. They've only got warships. You see their various positions. This country also has a first innovation we've seen of mercenaries. Do you guys know what mercenaries are? Yes, sir.
There are people who are hired for money.
Yes.
To fight.
What were you going to say? Was that same such thing? Yes, exactly.
Well, if you consider that, would these boats be part of that country?
Yes, they are. The oil tankers are owned by that. Now you can buy, lease, or rent oil tankers from that country if you want to. This Nardi White.
Well, are there tar sands anywhere? Like, I'm researching my Canadian tar sands so I can write about it.
Yeah, isn't it huge? It's bigger than, how big is that tar sands area? It's huge. Well, bigger than England, I think, isn't it?
They're in Alberta, so I think it's like maybe an eighth of Alberta, a little bit less.
Isn't that amazing? You know what?
So much process.
Because of what you just said, we're going to have to put them in the game. If we do not have them in the game, we're going to have to figure out how to do that. I don't know how we're going to do that. I imagine the United Nations and the weather gods should probably get together and figure out how to include that as a problem in the games. Probably have to actually invent the problem too, maybe based on the real world. Thank you for thinking of that. We had on fun.
Are those right up there? Is that space?
That's outer space, yes.
And like the
stars and asteroids and spaceships, and even a black hole singularity over there, and some satellites. Here's a space station, by the way, too, right here. Hey, Mr. Hager.
What's that piece of cardboard?
That's a mountain range, Jack. You see a mountain range over there where that stacked cardboard is? Mountain range here also. Krill are holed up in the mountains, and you've got a gold mountain over there with 1,000 men troops in that mountain holding us. Actually, they're not under siege. Well, they are under siege, actually. They're holding position in the mountains. Tell us who you are. You're off.
Okay, well, I'm the president of the World Bank, Mr. Hazy. This is Mr. Schiller, the CEO. This is the Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Hellerman, or Miss Hellerman. And then this is Mr. Evans, the Exchequer.
Exchequer Evans.
President of Tactical Arms Corporation, or TAC for short, Mr. Nakbar. This is our CFO, Ms. Tenzin. This is our CEO, Mr. Paymans. And
Is that it?
that's it.
All right, thank you. Welcome, Ted. Tell us who we got.
We are the United Nations. I am Ms. Schmidt. I am Miss Mary White. I'm Mr. Inigo. And I'm Miss Gabriel. And he is the CFO. He is the CEO. And she is the chief of trade.
Who is she? We know their names also. That'd be helpful.
Miss Gailey is the chief of trade. Mr. Inigo is the CEO, and Miss Narnie White is the CFO.
Oh, so your UN has business offices rather more than deputy secretaries. All right, very good. Right, let's welcome the UN.
We need to remember, we have one on, we have each country has, there. All right, write down 2028.